Hi guys, today is a very special day. I'm making my very first video for YouTube. In this video I want to introduce myself and NinaVova jewelry. I have my little notes over here, so don't mind me looking. Um, what is it NinaVova and what do we do actually, and who I am? I'm in the wedding business since 2008, somewhere there. So for a very long time, 10, 12 years, I started way back in Russia and I moved over here to United States in 2012. So as you can imagine, I've done lots of weddings, 300, 400. I didn't really count, somewhere around 35, 40 on average per year. And I've seen lots of rings as well, and at some point I started noticing that there's some rings that are like very, very special, and the bride would talk about it a lot, about its history, and usually they are passed from one generation to another. So she got it from her grandma or from the groom's grandma, or there's the other type of rings, or they can be the same actually. It's a custom made rings specifically for them with the special symbols about their relationship. Maybe there's a symbolism in how many years they are together, where they met, what they like doing together, this type of stuff. So it's always a clear separation between pre-made rings, the one you can just go and buy in a store, and the rings that's specially made or has very special provenance. And when time came for me to make one, I knew exactly that I'm not gonna buy. I'm not gonna go to the store and just buy one. I need to make one. So I very carefully search everything, not only technical details that everywhere on the ads on YouTube, like for the diamonds, like what goal to choose and everything like that. I mean, these are complicated topics, and I think I'm gonna make the videos about it later on. But it's much more important to get an idea of what you exactly want to do, and you also have to have this idea in mind that it's not just a ring. It's not something that you can wear and get rid of it or anything. This piece is going to stay through your life, and probably ideally that's the piece that you want to pass to your kids. They want to pass it to their kids, so eventually it's going to make it to your grandparents. That's what I've seen on the weddings actually. And when you put in that much thoughts and responsibility in the jewelry piece, you want to make sure that you put the right message in it. I mean, I'm pretty sure no one's gonna pass the ring that it's very basic one, right? They want to see not only an expensive piece of jewelry, but also they want to see the time that was invested in this piece. They want to see the symbols of love. They want to see the story. So I knew that I want to make this story, that I'm actually making this story. And it's not like it's cost extra money. Like, I mean, if I'm gonna go to the Tiffany or Cartier or any other big brands, where no brands, I'm gonna ask them to do a custom piece, it's gonna be enormous expense, that's for sure. but I also can go to the other companies and make a very good piece of it. I couldn't find one actually. The one that can stay reasonably in my price range, that can be reasonable, and at the same time who can do everything that I wanted. I eventually found one. I did everything the way I wanted. I incorporated everything that I wanted. I'm going to show you this later on as well. And I thought I'm kind of done with that, but then my friends asked me to do similar thing, not the similar ring, but to repeat the similar process, like think very deeply into the project, see what can be done, what that wasn't done before. When you look at this piece, it's special, and as soon as you look at the special thing, you don't want to average anymore. That's what my friends saw, and that's what they want me to do. So I did it for them, and just organically, one couple started referring me to another, and at this point, I thought that, well, I have the wedding photography to videography business. I'm in the wedding industry for over 10 years, and maybe it's a time to go to a completely new field for me and learn it and really make my journey into that field. That's how the company started. I didn't really thought for a long time about the name of it. I quickly named it after my grandparents, Nina and Vova. That's my grandparents' name. Nina for my grandma, and Vova or Vladimir for my grandfather. Very easy choice actually, and that's because it's very personal for me. That's the best representation of the perfect relationship for me, that survived through the years, through the different history events. It's all started in 60s in Soviet Union, and it made all the way to 2017 when my grandma passed away. So you can imagine like through what kind of thing they went through, and they stayed together. So it was very clear for me how to name the company right after that. But anyway, after I did this ring and a couple others, I knew that I have this ability to help people to understand what they exactly wanted, to help them and to guide them through the process. At the same time, I can keep it reasonable price-wise. And it was actually a very rewarding experience as well. I'm gonna try to explain it, but it's all starting with the groom or a future groom or future bride contacting to you and trying to explain what is that she or he want, and you on your side trying to explain that let's forget about the task of picking the ring, let's actually create it from scratch. You explaining everything about the gold and the diamonds or other stones, you creating something from scratch, and you actually doing something that they think couldn't be done, or someone said to them that couldn't be done, and you actually making it. and you see in this piece in reality, like in metal, then you send this piece and they holding this in hands and they sending you messages like, uh, that's like, wow, that's such a cool piece. I mean, they've seen the 3D model, they've seen the pictures and videos, and even videos how it was made, but when they actually receiving them, the feedback is just priceless, and it's very rewarding feeling. And I knew that if I'm enjoying that, I want to keep going. So I chose for myself to specialize in custom engagement rings. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do wedding bands as well and maybe other type of jewelry, but at the moment I want to go into that field and to talk with the couples and see what they like, learn their love story, create a piece that actually based on this love story, that not actually just picked from the store, but it's actually based on their unique story. Because I myself not getting this idea when um, we all know that all the relationship unique. They not like one another. They all different, and at the same time, we're trying to choose the symbol that's actually similar one to another. I know that because I'm seeing all these rings. I'm seeing like 2 3 rings per week on my weddings, and lots of them are the same, but there is a few that difference. And I want to be one who's actually making these different pieces, unique pieces. Um, I think I should also talk through how it's working at the moment. Um, so I'm first of all I'm starting with the conversation with my client. We're talking through. I'm not even starting from what type of diamond they want or what their budget, because the budget is for me at the moment not really important. If you have less than $1,000, that's great. If you have 10K to spend, that's great. We're gonna do the best of what you can afford, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not very good thing to push someone to spend more than they should. If they are at the stage where they can spend certain amount of money, and that's great. If later on in their life they want to spend more, they will probably find an event like, I don't know, like 10-year anniversary or something, and will upgrade their engagement ring. At the same time, what I'm seeing through some of the couples and celebrities, they have multiple engagement rings. But anyway, let's get back to how does it work. So we're talking with my client, and usually it's starting with the phrase like, I like that many rings, here they are, but I don't know what I want. Maybe I want this type of diamond, maybe this type of diamond, maybe this type of gemstone. So we're actually going through their relationship story. I'm trying to pick up the details that we can incorporate in this ring. For example, on one of the rings, we put 6 stones because these guys know each other for 6 years. On the other ring, we put coordinates because that's the point where they met. Or we incorporate the snowflakes because they just met in the winter time. The other one we did with waves in the blue stones because the future bride, she just love the ocean and the beach and surfing and all that. So everything that related to the ocean, she's just crazy about it. And we just made this gradient of the stones that goes from blue to white. That was very cool. And so anything you can pick and incorporate it would be great, really. So after I picked their story, I'm talking with my designer or with a couple of them, depending on who is good and what. It's not like one single designer can do the best job in every field. Some designers like flowy designs, some specialize on art deco. It's like a painter's. You cannot just go to the painter and expect him to draw anything that you want. You just have to have this pool of designers that specialize in their field and just start a conversation with them and said to them, like, here's the client, here's what he wanted, let's sit together and try to understand how we can make her happy, and let's make 2 or 3 sketches and see the reaction. Because usually when you introduce the sketches, you can see the reaction of the person. That's why I like the personal meetings or the meetings through the Zoom. Right now it's 2020, so I've not met anyone in person. It was all through the Zoom or Skype. But this initial reaction is very important, actually. So when I get that, then we start talking about the budget and everything. Because if you talk about the budget at the beginning, then you naturally would be limited in size of the stones, other things like that. But at the same time, when you have the idea, you can be like, oh, this ring has to have 1 carat stone or even bigger, because there's a few stones around it. So let's think, let's see if we can use, instead of the diamond, something else. Maybe the lab diamond. Maybe I had a client who actually switched from 0.7 carat diamond to the 2 carat moissanite, because it just fit the idea of the engagement ring better, of this specific design better. After this sketches sent to the client, it is very important to pick up the reaction to see what it is he or she like about the sketches, what they don't like about it, and trying to understand how to fix it. There is a times when you go through 5-6 different designs. Sometimes you just picking the right one very fast from the very first sketch. It all depends, but I think that you can only focus on one thing, and when you trying to keep in mind the like efficiency or whatever it's called, like when the company limit the client to certain amount of sketches or designs, it's not, I mean, it's great, it's efficient, it can save you money, but you cannot just place your focus everywhere. Your focus as the jeweler has to be on happiness of your client. And if he wants to go through 5-10 different designs, that's great, and you have to go through them until they're happy, really. It's very rare, but it is happen, and I'm really okay with that. So after we pick this initial sketch that we want to base off, we make in the 3D model. That's a great time when you actually can do this, because I looked through the old Cartier sketches. That's the only thing they had. So they made the sketches and then they made it in metal. That's the whole thing. Right now we can do the 3D model, so we can just turn it around in your browser, get closer to it, like really see how this piece is gonna look like. Sometimes that's not enough actually to understand what it is going to be made out of metal, especially for someone who never done this process before. I mean, I can tell because I went through this process many times, and I can see uh, how the ring gonna look like based on 3D model. But someone who done it for the very first time, which is most of my clients, that's gonna be hard. So in this case, and with the very complicated designs, I think the 3D print should be made. There's a very cool thing nowadays. You can make a SLS 3D model where you can see all the little details. The other beautiful thing about it, you can actually place it on your finger and see how it's gonna fit. If you creating the design together and it's okay for the receiver to see the ring. If not, that's fine as well. The coolest part, you can actually see the piece and you can see the proportions and see how comfortable it is, because it might be too wide for your liking, or it might be too like too thin or too thick, anything really that you're not going to see on the 3D model. So it's an important thing to do. It's not cheap, but it is a great thing to do. From the approval point to the actual ring, it usually takes about 6 weeks to make it all from scratch, to polish it, to set the stones and everything. And in parallel, actually, I have a very good artist who makes custom jewelry boxes. That's a very important thing for me, because again, I'm a wedding photographer and I've seen lots of rings, and some of them come in the boxes that I was looking at it at the wedding like that, and I'm like, no, I'm not photographing my ring in this box. So I was looking for nice tables or the backgrounds or leaves or whatever it is, invitations to take pictures. Because this box, no, just no. So when I started this business, I want my rings to be, my boxes to be recognizable, and I want photographers to use my boxes for that. 6 weeks after you approve the design, you receive your ring. I really recommend to insure it. It's not expensive. It's like $60 to $80 to insure the engagement ring for a year. I thought I can make it on my end. Unfortunately not. You have to be the owner of the ring in order to do that. After you receive your ring, it's not like it's done. Turns out that most of my clients coming back for wedding bands or just to clean up their jewelry and everything. I was thinking about all this process with a warranty and all this stuff. I think it's totally makes sense to have the lifetime warranty, because since you made this ring, it's in your head. I remember all of my rings, all of my clients, and I just want to keep them alive. I want to my clients to enjoy them, to keep them with them, to pass to their kids and grandkids. And I don't see any difficulty in polish them or repair if needed or do anything else. I honestly don't want to go this, I don't want these pieces to go somewhere else. I actually had this experience where my client brought my ring to the repair shop, to the good repair shop actually, with the good reviews, and they said, well, it couldn't be done, it have to be remade. It wasn't a good story from them, and actually all they needed to do is to contact me so I can fix that. But with the complicated pieces, you want to maintain them since you made them, because I mean the closest comparison in my head, and I know it's might be not the best for my brides out there, but if like complicated complicated pieces of art like a Ferrari or so cannot be fixed in Toyota dealership somewhere. They can make it run, but it's not gonna run the way it should be. And I'm doing my best to make these pieces of art, and I want to make sure they maintain properly, even if it's cost me something. That's absolutely fine. I just want to see them alive. That's my warranty policy basically. It's not based on anything, it's based on my feeling of how it should be done. I think that's it for the first video. I think that's it for what I want to deliver in this very first video. Excuse me for my accent. As you might heard, I'm not the native speaker or anything like that. 10 years ago, I couldn't speak at all. It's gonna be better and better from one video to another. But that's not an important thing. The important thing that I delivered my vision to the process, and I hope you like it. I'm gonna do my best to make you like it. Thank you again so much for watching this video. I'm gonna do more and more. I'm gonna do more with examples of the rings that we did. I want to do more with explanation of metals and different types of stones. The jewelry field really has a limited amount of topics, and we're gonna go carefully through all of them. Thank you so much again for watching. See you very soon.